Hi everybody, this is Marjorie Wildcraft with Grow Your Own Groceries, and today I'm so excited. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona with Alex, who is the owner of Tropical Mango Exotic and Rare Fruit Tree Nursery. And what I'm so excited about is what we have here are young baby chocolate trees. Now the Latin name for the chocolate tree is Theobroma cacao. We'll just call them cacao trees. And what I'm so excited about is the possibility of growing these in our backyards in greenhouses. And I'm going to talk today to Alex about what does that look like, how do you take care of them, and how much chocolate are you going to actually get from them. So Alex, these are 1-year-old seedlings, is that right?
Right. I start them in March, so they're just under a year. We start them directly from seed from homegrown ones right here in Arizona.
And how old does it take before they start fruiting?
Typically, the plant usually reaches 5 or 6 feet in about 3 years, and that's about the time when it starts. Mm-hmm. The telltale sign is when it starts going from a straight and then branches at the top. At that point, it reaches maturity, and then you start pruning off the lower leaves, and it branches. And fruits.
How much space would I need in my backyard greenhouse? Would I need, or how much floor space, and then how much height would I want to get?
At the bottom, you're just basically looking for 2 or 3 feet. There's no leaves on the center. The pods are all borne on the trunk, and the foliage is all up on top. Mm-hmm. So as long as you're able to move in around, that's about it.
So like 3 or 4 feet in diameter would be plenty?
Yeah, you can probably do 2 plants on that.
Oh, really? And then how tall can they go? Or
again, it's about 5 or 6 feet is the
minimum.
Yes, and then beyond that, it's up to you whether you want them to go that high and you have a big enough pot that can handle the root structure and the amount of nutrients that they'll require to produce the pod.
And what kind of soil are they going to like? Is there any special things with this, or just a good, rich, fertile soil?
Yes, but in the sense, considering that they're an acid-loving plant, mm-hmm. so you're looking for something in the low 6s as far as pH. Mm-hmm. They do very well with some kind of azalea mix or treating them like orchids. They grow in a real loose, very highly rich, organic, composted soil.
So you're going to need a lot of good fertility with these guys. Yes. And then generally they just want to stay nice and moist.
Yes, and they like the water to run off. They're used to a lot of rain, but not puddling and kind of swamp-type conditions, similar to like, rainforest. The water usually goes off into the rivers, but everything's wet all the time.
Now, am I going to need 2? Like some things, are they self-pollinating? Or most fruit trees do better with more than one, but are they self-pollinating?
Yes, they are. Though if you're going to grow them indoors and you're lacking insects or any kind of pollinator, you'll have to help that process out.
With the Q-tips and doing the flowers.
But the flowers are perfect, so all you need to do is move the pollen around.
Uh-huh. And to get it self-pollinated,
right.
You can pollinate it for it.
Correct. And they flower throughout the year, so it's a continual process.
Constantly getting fruit and flowers.
Yes.
And now for most people that don't know, the fruit is actually not the chocolate part. And the fruit itself is delicious. I've had a chance to try it, but it's the seeds of the fruit that you process to make chocolate. Do you have any idea of how many pounds of seeds we could get out of one tree as a typical yield?
Out of one tree, actually it'll be less than a pound. It's going to take, you'll get anywhere from 30 to 60 seeds per pod, mm-hmm. and it'll take somewhere around 500 or so to make a pound of chocolate.
Wow. So it is possible, but you have to love it the way I do in order to grow it to get a lot of chocolate.
Yeah, 2 or 3 trees would probably, in order to get 1 to 2 pounds mm-hmm. consistently, because it'll take about 10 pods in order for you to have enough seeds to work with.
Now these are a tropical plant, so they're not going to be able to handle a freeze at all. Do you know, at what is the lowest temperature that they're going to be able to withstand and still be able to fruit?
Ideally, as far they could take probably down into 40s mm-hmm. and live. If you're encouraging fruit, you're going to have to maintain at least 60 degrees at a minimum, and very little of that if possible.
So you're going to have to keep a nice warm environment for them.
Yeah, it'll have to be a temperature-controlled greenhouse. They won't be able to wait till morning sun.
Now, one of the whole things that got me so inspired about this was I was in Washington, D.C. at the National Botanical Gardens, and they have this gigantic greenhouse, and right when you walk in, there's a 25-foot fruiting cacao tree there. And and I don't believe they were using grow lights, so it looks like you'll have enough sunlight for them to fruit at the latitude of Washington, D.C., which is about Kansas City and Sacramento across the United States. do you know how much further north that would go, or is that just something we're going to have to experiment with?
Yes, but basically if you look at how they grow in nature, they're an understory plant. Where they're grown commercially for the chocolate, they're usually shaded with other types trees, so they don't get the full brunt of tropical sun. So diffused light is fine.
So they may do well even further northern climates.
Possibly.
Possibly,
Yeah.
Probably be something we'll all have to experiment. If you know anybody growing one in a northern climate in a greenhouse, by all means, get in touch with me and let me know.
I do have sold some as far to Alaska, but I've never been in touch with the owners to know how it's done.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Alex. We really appreciate it.
Very welcome.
As we get this
enjoyable.
growing, we'll stay back in touch with you and let you know how it goes. If you want to try this experiment in your greenhouse in your backyard, Alex has a website and is available to ship these trees, apparently even to Alaska. Do you want to give them your website?
Yes, the website name is tropicamango.com. Tropica is tropical without the L, and then mango.com.
Well, thank you again, Alex.
You're
This is
very welcome,
Marjorie
and thank
Wildcraft with Backyard Food Production and Grow Your Own Groceries. And we'll see you on another segment.